Hey, I just wanted to talk for a second about the Reckless 80 bags and the kind of wear and tear that occurs on the bottom of the bag. This is something that's totally normal, and we get a lot of questions about it. On the bottom of this bag, the construction of the bag, we're using 1680D ballistic nylon here, and then this is Hypalon, and these are Hypalon patches that are going over the 1680D ballistic. But inside of this harness is a hard plastic, yeah, Brady, hard plastic frame, and that's what really gives the bag its structure. So, for example, in a high wear spot like this, where it's rubbing against the bag frame, you've got Hypalon sewn over ballistic nylon on top of the plastic. Now, in reality, when you sit, chill. When you when this is riding on the bike, you've got fabric that's being pinched between the metal on the bike and the plastic internal frame. And there's just no way with the amount of vibration. Like, for example, this is my own personal Reckless 80, and this was brand new, and I just did one weekend trip on it. And you'll see that it right here, these two lines are where the bag was sitting on my Black Dog Cycle Works luggage rack. Like, this was the luggage rack right here, and you can see how it's worn through. These are some of the most abrasion resistant materials available anywhere. This Hypalon and ballistic nylon. Like, this is the same stuff they use on the pontoons on military rigid hull inflatables. And but between the plastic and the metal on your bike, there's just no way this fabric's gonna wear out, gonna hold up. And that's okay, because this stuff doesn't affect the actual integrity of the bag. You can see here on the legs, you can see where this is starting to wear. This will, in all likelihood, eventually wear through. Like, there'll be some decent gashes in this fabric on the bottom, and that's normal wear and tear on this bag. It's not going to affect the way the bag performs. It's not going to affect the waterproofness of the dry bags inside. As long as it doesn't get through to the dry bags, you'll be fine. I have another one here to show. This one has, this is after, this one's from Baja, and these holes here were actually not caused by wear and tear. They were caused by us experimenting with some different mounting systems. When you're down there, you can see we were stabbing it with a hot Leatherman to melt holes in it and experiment with hose clamps. But it does give an opportunity to see what's inside here. You can see this hard plastic that's inside there. So that's the real part of this construction that gives the bag its shape. And all this kind of stuff, like heat and friction, this is just totally inevitable. And if this wears through the plastic, it's no big deal. As long as it doesn't get through the plastic, you're fine. So this kind of stuff, totally normal. Here's another wear spot right here. And this bag has actually been used in more than just our Baja trip. This was has been on several trips. This one, I believe, was actually in Africa with us as well. Yeah, it was. This bag has been through, so this did 3,000 miles in Africa and then 10 days in Baja as well, off-road. So, having this kind of wear and exposure is not a big deal. It's totally part of the design of the bag. So if you see this, don't freak out. If it bothers you, you have a couple of options. One option is to apply a sacrificial patch. Like, you could cut a piece of ballistic nylon or a piece of vinyl or some other material and just use shoe glue or some other kind of adhesive and put it over these spots. That's one option. Another option is to put padding, like on my Black Dog dualsport rack, where I have this sharp metal edge that's rubbing against the fabric here. I could put some kind of foam padding, or I could file down those edges to make them a little softer. Or I could do some combination of all three of those things. File down the edges, put in some foam, and also apply a sacrificial patch. So yeah, that's just kind of an overview of the kind of wear and tear you can expect on the bottom of the Reckless bag. If you see it, don't freak out, totally normal. There's some easy fixes if it bothers you, and if it doesn't, for most people, it probably won't affect the performance of the bag at all.